Chapter 11. Beasts Attack. Drake ran up to his friends and hugged them.
"You're all right," he cried.
"Yes," Mina said.
"Now where is Astrid? Is she still here, in the fortress?"
Casper added. Drake shook his head.
"No, she has brought the bones to life. Then she took the beasts with her through a portal and—"
"Drake was right. Astrid is in the land of the far north,"
Jayana cried, running in with Griffith.
"She is attacking King Albin's kingdom."
Mina clenched her fist.
"He's the king who banished her," she said. "Astrid is seeking revenge on him, and on our sister Hulda, who is my wizard. We must go there right away." "Shaka and I will go too," Casper said. "It is our fault that Astrid was able to reach the bones."
As he spoke, Iko and Niru came through a purple portal.
"Opeli and Manoa are now safe in their kingdoms,"
Iko reported.
"How else can I help?"
"You must take Chila and Weira back to the mountain of the wind dragons,"
Griffith instructed.
"Weira is hurt and must rest."
Chila nodded.
"I wish we could help you more, but Griffith is right,"
she said. She turned to Drake.
"Thank you for helping us escape Queen Amaru. We will never forget you." "We won't forget you two either," Drake promised. "And we will stop Astrid."
Iko, Niru, Chila, and Weira all stepped through a portal to Ichimoku.
"Everyone to King Albin's castle,"
Jayana cried. She snapped her fingers and vanished. The other wizards disappeared one by one.
"Before we go, we all need warmer clothes,"
Griffith said. He pointed at himself. Poof! Now he was dressed in warm, furry clothes. He did the same for the Dragon Masters. Then Worm transported Drake, Griffith, Mina, Frost, Casper, and Shaka to the land of the far north. They appeared outside the wall protecting King Albin's kingdom. The wizards were there too, and Drake saw that Hulda had joined them. A thin layer of snow coated the ground. Astrid stood in front of the massive wooden gate in the wall, surrounded by the beasts made of stone. The large bird-like creatures swooped overhead, making an eerie wailing sound. Zap, zap, zap! Astrid attacked the wizards with powerful blasts of red magic. Then she saw the Dragon Masters and their dragons.
"Beasts, attack those 3 dragons," she commanded.
Chapter 12. Dragons versus Beasts. The beasts all turned and faced the dragons. Worm began to glow green. Shaka stomped her massive feet. Frost flapped his wings.
"What should we do now?"
Drake asked the others.
"We must go into battle,"
Mina yelled.
"But if our dragons use their powers," Drake replied, "then Astrid will capture the powers and use them against us. You could be turned to stone again."
"We wizards will keep Astrid busy," Griffith promised. "Drake, you and Worm must get as close as possible to the beasts and open the Tenebrex box. Mina, Casper, you must battle the beasts. They are only alive by magic, and they are just bones. Destroy them if you must."
"We will do what we have to," Casper cried.
Mina turned to Drake.
"We will try to force the beasts to group together,"
she told him.
"When the time is right, have Worm transport you into the middle of them."
Drake nodded.
"Got it."
Wizards surrounded Astrid, quickly trapping her in a magic bubble.
"Shaka, charge!"
Casper yelled. The stone dragon charged towards some of the beasts.
Bam!
Shaka butted heads with a beast with a thick skull. The magical beast let out a strange, deep roar. Mina and Frost flew toward a long-necked beast that towered over Frost.
"Frost, ice attack!"
Mina cried. Frost's body glowed with blue light. He shot icy breath at the giant beast. The ice froze the creature's long neck. The bones shattered, and the beast crashed to the ground. The crash startled the other beasts nearby, and they pushed back toward the other group. On that side, a new beast ran toward Shaka, aiming to ram the stone dragon with a sharp horn. Smash! The powerful stone dragon stomped on the ground, making it shake. The beast fell on its side, and the bones landed in a messy pile. Then Mina and Frost flew overhead. They circled the beasts, drawing them closer together. Drake glanced at Astrid. The wizard still had her suspended in the magic bubble. Mina flew past Drake.
"Use the box now."
Drake thought quickly.
"Worm, transport us closer to the beasts,"
In a flash of green light, they landed in the center of the creatures. A long, bony tail thrashed at Drake and he jumped to the side. He heard Worm's voice in his head. I can freeze the ones closest to you. Drake knew what that meant. Worm didn't freeze things by making them cold like Frost did. He froze them with his mind, and they stopped moving. Worm's body glowed. The beasts around Drake froze. He took the Tenebrex box out of his pouch and set it down on the snow. Then he reached for the latch on the lid. Boom! Before he could open it, a blast of red magic rocked the land of the far north. Drake fell back away from the box. Astrid burst through the wizard's magic bubble. She floated in the air over to the box.
You will not stop me,
She yelled, reaching for the magical box. Chapter 13. The Magic of the Tenebrex. No! Drake cried, lunging for the Tenebrex box. Suddenly, Mina swooped down on Frost and yanked the belt off Astrid's waist. The glass bottles clanked together. Astrid landed on the ground.
Give that back!
Astrid shrieked, reaching for the belt in Mina's hands. Her fingers grazed the bottles. Shaka stomped up to Astrid, roaring.
Shaka, make a pit!
Casper cried. Shaka stomped, and a huge hole opened up in the frozen ground. Drake pushed Astrid into it.
Frost ice!
Mina yelled as they flew past the pit. The ice dragon breathed, and a thick layer of ice covered the pit. Through the ice, Drake could hear the evil wizard's muffled, angry screams.
This ice will not hold me!
Griffith, Gianna, Hulda, and the other wizards quickly surrounded the pit. Now, Drake, Worm told him. Drake opened the lid of the Tenebrex box. Streams of purple, orange, and turquoise magic shot out, lighting up the sky. The light snaked out across the snowy land, wrapping around the beasts. First, the beasts stopped moving. Then the bones clattered to the ground and landed in piles all over the snow. The lights faded. Then the box transformed back into an orb-shaped stone. Drake picked it up and put it back into the pouch. Mina and Frost landed next to Drake.
You did it!
Mina cried. Drake gazed around at the lifeless bones.
Yes, we all did it, he said. The false life spell has been broken, and Astrid is trapped. Whoosh!
A beam of bright white light shot through the icy pit holding the wizard. The light melted all of the ice. Chapter 14. A Sister's Plea. Astrid floated up out of the pit, and light streamed from her mouth. She held an empty bottle in her hand.
She must have grabbed a bottle of dragon powers when she was struggling with Mina,
Drake guessed.
But I've never seen a power like that. She's unstoppable, unless... It's a risk, but there's no choice now. Worm, freeze Astrid,
Drake yelled. Worm's body glowed green again, and Astrid stopped moving in midair. The light stopped streaming from her mouth. Her magic is very strong, Worm told Drake. I can't hold her for long.
Worm needs some help,
Drake yelled, and all the wizards stepped forward. They pointed at Astrid and surrounded her in another magic bubble. Hulda pleaded with her sister.
Astrid, it doesn't have to be this way. I know you're angry with King Alban, but revenge will not solve anything. Surrender to us. End this now.
Astrid looked frozen in the bubble. But then her eyes glowed green, the color of dark magic. Her mouth began to move.
She's resisting the power of Worm and the wizards,
Drake realized.
Do you think I can be beaten so easily? Astrid asked. After I take King Alban's kingdom, I will grow stronger. I will keep defeating lands until I rule the world. She cackled with evil laughter. Then the magic bubble burst. A swirling portal opened up in the air. Worm's energy still held her, but she managed to reach toward the portal. She's going to escape, Mina cried. Casper stepped forward. She won't get away this time. Shaka, use your secret power. Turn her to stone. Chapter 15. A Visitor. 2 gray beams of light shot from Shaka's eyes as Astrid moved closer to the portal. The dragon's power beams hit her. Instantly, the wizard's body turned to stone. Everyone was silent for a moment. Shaka's body stopped glowing. Worm gently lowered the statue to the ground. Hulda walked up to her sister and touched her face. Astrid is a statue,
Hulda said. Mina joined Hulda.
I'm sorry that I could not stop her from reaching the beast in the first place.
She looked down at the snow. Hulda patted Mina's arm.
My sister was too powerful for her own good. No one could stop her alone. It took all of us working together to do it. And I know King Alban will be relieved that Astrid is no longer a threat to him and his people. Can she break through the stone with her magic?
Caspar wondered.
She should not be able to escape,
Gianna said.
But we will bring her to the Wizards' Council prison to make sure.
What happens now? Drake asked, handing the pouch with the tenebrick stone back to Griffith.
Now you shall all go home and rest, Griffith said.
I could use a warm bath and some onion stew,
Drake admitted. Griffith turned to Gianna.
I will help you take Astrid to the prison. Can one of your wizards help Caspar and Shaka back to Navid?
Gianna nodded.
I'll take care of it.
Drake hugged Mina and Caspar goodbye.
Drake, you'll always have a friend in Navid,
Caspar said.
You're more than my friend now, Drake,
Mina said.
You're my brother.
Drake smiled.
I've always wanted a sister.
Griffith magically returned their clothes to the way they were before. Poof! Then Drake touched his dragon.
Let's go home now, Worm.
The dragon transported them to Bracken, to the Valley of Clouds outside the castle. Drake yawned.
It's warm and sunny here,
he said.
How about a nap?
That sounds nice, Worm replied. Drake slid down and rested against Worm's back. He closed his eyes. A few minutes later he felt something on his arm. He looked down, expecting to see a field snake or maybe a toad. He blinked. A tiny dragon crawled on him. It wasn't much bigger than his foot. Green scales covered the dragon's body, and white flower petals sprouted from the dragon's head. The dragon's wings looked like flower petals too. Drake sat up. His eyes got wide.
Worm, we have a visitor.
The end.